Okay guys, I'm going to do LTW. So you need to have your mamas check your outline if she has not already. So this outline is on Essay 6. It is our longest outline. I have Jackson's here with me to show you as an example. You can see that it is, we have to put it, so to put it on, to get it all the way on here, we have to, I think it's on like a 9 font. It's really small because this is our, it has the 4 Roman numerals of introduction, proof, refutation, and conclusion. And then I go ahead and at the end have him write his antithesis, and then it goes on the back because it's in his circumstance, because he puts that, I have him put that in the I column of his anti-chart. It just adds to his I column, which is a pretty easy column anyway, but it's already there while he's doing his anti-chart. So when he goes to write his essay, it's not something he's trying to think about all while writing the essay. So let's go over all the elements that you're going to want. You should know these because I go over these with you each week, but you're going to see these on Blue Book more than likely. So these are the elements that are in our papers up to Essay 6. So we should be very familiar with these, being able to define them at least in our own words, if not in a pretty close definition of what our glossary has in the back. And our glossary starts on page, let's see, 305. So 306, I guess, is when the actual 305 is where it has glossary. But anyway, let's start with the elements we have so far. So a thesis, that is our statement that is defended by our essay. Okay, and we get that statement when a writer converts the question into an issue and then decides which side of that issue that they want to defend, if they want to defend the affirmative side or the negative side. Okay, and then they restate the issue in a statement representing affirmative or negative. Okay, so there's kind of 3 parts that we get to our thesis, but most importantly, it is the statement that is defended by the essay. All right, exordium, that is at the very beginning of our paper. It has pizzazz. It is a grab your attention. Okay, it's in the introduction part of our paper, and it makes it kind of opens the audience up to your paper. If it's a speech, it opens them up to your speech. So it can be used in an essay or a speech, but it is an attention grabber. It can be a fact, it can be a question, it could be a challenge, something that it just grabs their attention, that makes them want to listen. Okay, so let's go. The next one is division, and we're going to see that in the introduction as well. And it is that precise statement of agreement and disagreement between the writer and the opponent, and an opponent, I guess. So it's, some people think this, other people think this. So that's our division, and that precise statement when we put it in our paper. Okay, let's do and let's actually go to refutation, because that's actually still in our outline, because the other ones I want to talk about are not technically in the outline, but they're in our essay. Okay, so the refutation is the response to an opposing argument. It's when we think of 2 arguments that an opponent could go against our thesis with, and that the refutation in our outline talks about, it puts up a counter thesis, counter proof, and then the summary and the inadequacy of it. But in our paper, the only thing we put in our paper is that, okay, so I'm going to see if you can see Jackson's. So when we're on refutation down here, it's that summary. At the very end, that's that you're summarized those proofs and their inadequacies of it. So that is refutation. So let's go to the antithesis. This is, it's not in our outline, but this is something that, like I said, Jackson, I have him put that in his interesting column of his Annie. It is, it's the mirror contrast. Our example is, to err is human and to forgive is divine. That is, there's something the same and something different in that. And they could be part of speech. So there's parallelism in there, and there's contrast in there as well. And these are tricky. And the more experience we have as a writer, the more we will get better at that. So the antithesis, and then the circumstance. That is something that's going on at that time period somewhere else. And then a simile is when you are comparing two different things that share a common characteristic. So, and then the last one is amplification. That actually is in our essay. It is in our essay, but it's in our outline. That is whom this matters to and why. So that goes in the last part in our Roman number 4 on our conclusion. Okay, so reviewing all of those elements, make sure you're pretty comfortable with those. If you need to go to the glossary to refine your own definition, do that. But this week, we are using our outline to write Essay 6 for Crispin. And we are finishing reading The Bronze Bow. So we're finishing our last book, and we're going to get on our last essay and wrap this year up. We do not have very much longer to go. So that does it for LTW. We'll see you in the next video.